Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and we did show you the unboxing of the January door hanger or door quilt from Riley Blake, and I finished it yesterday. Now, just side note, forewarning, applique is not my strong suit. I find I can't cut with scissors very well, plus I find applique stitch on my machine to be kind of tedious. I can do it for small things, but for a whole big thing, it's just, it's not my thing. Luckily, I think this is the only applique one. I think there may be one more that has a little bit of applique in the whole 12-month series. You give me a half square triangle, or a square or a rectangle, you know, anything traditionally pieced, I'm all for it and I can do it. But don't ask me to applique too much, especially if it's got curves. I'm good with, you know, triangles, stars, and stuff like that, but this wasn't my thing. But I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's pretty, and it will go up either in my quilt room or on my door or in my dining room or something. But I want to show you it, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to straight line quilt it on my domestic machine. So here we are. There's the Happy Easter. Here's our chocolate bunny. Grab it up here. And then there's the eggs and the flowers and the Easter grass. So as you can see, and I didn't have a lot of matching threads, and I wasn't going to go to the store and buy a whole bunch of different threads for a teeny tiny project like this. So I just kind of used a linen color thread, which is kind of my all-purpose quilting thread, to go around everything, and I used black thread to kind of blend in with the Happy Easter. So, and I've got it basted. It's just kind of loosely basted because, like I said, I'm going to do it on the machine. It's going to be straight line, so I can, you know, even it out a little bit as I'm going. But I just kind of used some scrap backing from a 108 that I had for a previous project, and I just kind of pieced it. It's not evenly pieced. It's just kind of hodgepodged, but, you know, I'm trying to shop my stash to save money and not buy so much fabric. And for little things like this, it's not really going to matter. But this green looks good. I mean, it matches. And so I'm going to show you how to straight line quilt on my Juki. Now my Juki is a little interesting, and I'll show you in a minute that it doesn't have a separate walking foot. The walking foot is built in. But I've got it basted. I'm just using 80/20 cotton as a scrap from another project. That was big enough. So, you know, just if you can use it, I try to use as much of my stuff so I'm not wasting as possible. So, stand by. I'll get this up on the machine, and I will get it set up to where you can see, and we'll get started. Alright guys, so here I am. Here's my machine. This is a Juki Coco Chi DX 4000 QVP. It's got all the bells and whistles. You can do just about anything you want on it. It's got thousands and thousands of stitches. Not thousands, but let's see here. I would say several hundred. Like I said earlier, it does have a built-in walking foot. It doesn't have the big walking foot like my brother has that goes on it. You can hear my project manager is in here wanting attention. I'll let you say hi to her. Come here, project manager. She was in our last video. This is Pumpkin, the project manager. She got attitude. She's got a cat show coming up, so she's really packing on the attention. So, all right. I put here. Okay. That's her favorite spot. Glares at me from the edge of the cutting table. So, like I said. And I'm going to try to get this to where you can see it. See this where I'm pointing at back here? This little white, off-white thing? That's my walking foot. And I can take it off when I don't need it by just pushing on it, and it folds up. And then when you want it, you just kind of push down and put on it. Just like that. And it kind of attaches to the end, to the back of my, there's a groove in the back of my foot that it kind of goes into. So, but you can't use it on every stitch. There's only, I think, 6 or 7 stitches that you can, well, maybe 10. Well, let's talk about 20. Something about 20 different stitches that you can actually use this walking foot on. I've never used it for anything more than a zigzag or a straight line stitch. So you know, because I don't do a lot of straight line quilting on this anymore. I did when I first bought it, but now that I have my kitty frame and automation, anything that really needs quilting goes on that unless it's a very small project. And this is a small project, and plus due to the applique, I didn't want to do anything with a lot of loops and swirls where my quilting foot could get caught up under these applique shapes that aren't really tacked down the best, because I am not an appliquer. So I'm going to just do a few straight line stitches to kind of keep it tacked down on the backing. And this comes with a guide foot that kind of goes, it attaches to the main assembly. And so I'm going to use it to kind of get straight-ish, even-ish lines. I am not perfect by any means, but we're going to get started. I'm going to do a few lines, and then I'll show you the finished product when we're done. Go in here. Yes. As you can see, it just glides across. And I'll put a setting on here for needle down, so that it's one thing I love about this is I can just automatically hit a button, make the needle stay down when I stop, so that this doesn't fall off while I'm taking pins out. What you doing, punk? It's my punk. Yes, she needs attention. She heard me talking. So she came in here to see if they were talking about her. It's really heavy at the bottom because of all the fusible and the applique. So it was a mess when I was trying to actually applique it on the machine here. I don't have a dedicated sewing table yet. That'll come in the summer, because I have this couch in my sewing room that will be going with my husband when he relocates to Alabama for the military, to his war college. But right now I don't have a place for the couch, so it has to stay in here. So I have to actually sew on my cutting board. So, but make it work. Now my little Rebel and that assembly is all set up behind me, and I'm not going to keep taking that down and putting it back up. I did that when I was quilting on my dining room table, and it was just a hassle, especially with this machine, because this machine weighs more than my larger machine. It weighs almost 40 to 50 pounds, and it's a beast. A lot of electronics in it. You can actually watch YouTube videos on it if you want. I don't usually use it for that because I don't really have a thing, but it does have like YouTube video tutorials on how to use this machine, which I learn everything from YouTube. I think everybody does now. So that's pretty awesome. So let's see here. Straight line it as best we can. This first line is going to be my guide line, and it's also to kind of tack it down at the end here. Some people start in the middle. I kind of start at one end and work my way over. You can do it either way, but I mean, like I said, it's just some simple straight line quilting. Just tack it down. Get into that stiff part where all that applique is. And I'm not good with fusible either. I can't get it to stick. I mean, I'll follow the directions and I can't get it to stick. One other thing I love about this machine is thread cutter. I didn't use it very much when I first got it, but once I realized that it was a gem and I didn't have a lot of stray threads everywhere and long threads everywhere, it was worth its weight in gold. Okay, so I've got to turn this bad boy around the other way. Thought so. I'm always confused. It's all about the direction you're quilting too. But let's see here. I think I want it about that long. So what you do for your guide, most people that have straight line quilted know, is you kind of put your metal guide down on your stitched line, and that'll help you keep even lines, evenish. I still can't quilt a straight line. I've been quilting for 3 or 4 years now, but I do the best I can do with what I got. We'll do 2 more lines, and then, of course, my hand's in the way. Let's see if we can lift this up just a little bit. There you go. Now you can see. Finish this line up, and then I'll show you the finished product when I get it done. This will be quick and easy. Take me about an hour. I don't want to keep y'all on here for an hour just to listen to my machine, though it may put you to sleep. Very relaxing. I know I was making a tree skirt, a Jelly Roll Rugs tree skirt at a class, a quilting class, and my machine kind of got into a rhythm of zigzag stitching those ropes together, and buddy, I was in a trance, and I was like about to fall asleep. I had to get up, move around. I love local quilt classes, and I'm hoping our local quilt shops start doing a lot more. I'm going to one at the end of February. I'm pretty excited about for scrap quilting, because I'm one of them people that has to, like, all the colors have to go together, and my brain don't work if everything is a jumbled mess. But this lady did a really, really awesome looking scrap quilt, and the way she did it, everything kind of went together, even though it was all just very random pieces of fabric. Nothing, I mean, she just picked up things and sewed. And so she's going to show us how to do that and how to make it look cohesive and everything. So I'm cutting my 1.5 inch strips, these little tiny pieces. I'm getting ready for the class. But as you can see, it's pretty even, pretty straight, pretty good. Maybe, I don't know. Good for me. So I'm gonna keep going, And I'm just going to go all the way across the door banner here. And then I will show you the completed project and how we bind. So stay tuned. Hey y'all, I'm back. I finished up my wall hanging. I've just got to put a hanging sleeve on the back. I've got plenty of scraps that I can do that with. I went ahead and bound it. Still got to trim a few threads, but my machine binding is not the greatest. I'm still practicing with that. I usually hand bind everything. It's just easier for me, and it looks better in my opinion. But I just wanted to get this done, so I went ahead and machine bound it. So this was the binding that came with it, this kind of peachy pink. And as you can see, they're straight-ish, even-ish lines. All the way down to the bottom. Let you look at the back. Like I said, I kind of haphazardly backed the back, so the seam is kind of wonky on the back, but you can't hardly tell it with all the straight line quilting. But looks good. They have a little pucker here on the side towards the end, but that's probably because I should have basted that side to hold it down. That's okay. I had a few puckers inside it, but I think that was due to the applique not being, like I said, I had trouble getting it to adhere. It's probably old because I've had it for a while, but the adhesive on the fusible. So I got this done. And let me show you, this inspired me to go dig out another Easter decoration that I made a few years ago. So let me grab that real quick. Actually 3. More than that, but the pillows cases are in storage right now, and I gotta dig them out before Christmas. I mean, before Easter. Religious holiday, but alright, so I made this for my table like 3 years ago, I think. That's when I first started quilting. The pattern was a quilt pattern by Layla Boutique, but I kind of converted it into a table runner. Actually, I made 2 table runners and 3 pillow cases with that. And it was fat quarter friendly, so I went to my local quilt shop, picked up a lot of fat quarters. And the inspiration behind the colors, and excuse all the cat hair on it. Table runners in my house is code word for table blankies, and the cats will lay on them no matter what you do. So I gotta wash this. I'm actually gonna go throw this in the wash with the everything else. So, and it had carrots, so I put them in the center, and then 2 bunnies on each side. Now the coloring of these bunnies was inspired by 2 mini Rex rabbits we have. One is named Pickle, and he's gray, so kind of this grayish color here. And the other one is Gary. Gary was brown and white. So this one's brown and white spots, but Gary's more white than brown, so in real life. And I'll post a picture of him if I got one. But I made this. I made one for my mom, similar colors, and then I made a gray and white bunny rabbit pillowcase for my daughter, a brown one for my son, and then I had an extra one. I can't remember what color it was, and I gave my sister. But this goes out every Easter on my table because I gotta wash it. But that one was cool. And last year I subscribed to a few Sew Sampler boxes, and the year before that, I believe, sometime. And this was one of the Sew Sampler box table runner. It was a 2 projects in 1 Sew Sampler. This was by, also, the fabric is by Layla Boutique on this one, but not the pattern. The pattern, I think, is by Susan Aki or Lisa Alexander. One is by one and one is by the other, but this is the table runner. It's a flower with the stem being in the middle, and then a picket fence on the back, on the front. And then I bought some backing for it that matched it from the line, I think. And then the binding came, it was a check. This was jelly roll friendly. Came with like a junior jelly roll. And that's what all the pieces were. And then the gray background is for Mustache. So that one's really pretty. Also, this one came, these are machine quilted too, by the way. There's the hanging sleeve on this one because I do hang it up in my dining room. This one was little bitty pieces, but it was really fun and really beautiful. It's a wall hanging, or it could be a table topper. And the backing is the same. Binding is the same. But it just shows what all you can do with a little half of a jelly roll. You can make a table runner, table topper, 2 table toppers, 2 table runners, you know. But those are all nice and springy, and they actually match. They actually match this pretty good. The colors do. So these are probably gonna all go out together at some point. But I always put this one on my table. The rabbits. We love bunnies in our house. We have pets. Lots of pets. So this went through. It was good. I'm excited to get the next one at the end of the month. I think it is the kind of patriotic one for Memorial Day, May, and, you know, springtime. So I'm excited to get that one, to do that one. And it looks like it's traditionally pieced, which will be a lifesaver. Because me and applique just aren't friends. But this one did turn out pretty good. I'm happy with it. It's mine. It's not perfect. Nothing ever is. So, getting ready to, I'm not going to wash this just because the applique, I'm afraid it'll pill up. And it's already starting to fray. So, it'll just be strictly a decoration. But yeah, very fun. Very easy. The instructions were great. And, you know, all I had to do was really trace out the shapes onto Fusible. And the lines on the template were so dark, on the template paper was so dark that it made it very easy. And then just cut and sew. And fuse. Alrighty. So if y'all have any questions or comments or any ways that you have any tips or tricks on how to improve machine binding, applique, I'm all ears because those are 2 of my weak points. I can do just about everything else with pretty good ease, but machine binding is not my strong suit, neither is applique. So y'all come on back next time and we will probably be doing a sew along with a 3-yard quilt because I have to make a couple of 3-yard quilts for a cat show in September because I want to sell some stuff there. So I'll probably be doing 2 or 3, and I can't show you the pattern, but I can show you the process. And 3-yard quilts are really beginner friendly and economical because you just need 3 yards of quilt for the top and the binding, but you need, you know, probably batting and backing, which will be about twice the price of what you pay for your 3 yards. So very economical, especially if you find sale fabric. And, you know, it can get you started in a way that it's not overwhelming. You're just working with 3 different fabrics and 3 different cuts. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, y'all have a good evening, and we'll talk to you later.